Good afternoon and welcome to SM Live. Back for our second live stream Friday of 2022. This is show number 28. Hello to those of you watching live. Great to have you with us this afternoon. My name's Chris Stott. Welcome to those new subscribers. We're up to 226 now, so that's great news. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You'll be able to see all of the SalesMaster live streams on the YouTube channel, including lots of product overviews, other resources and general SalesMaster info. So I've got Howard with me. Howard, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Chris.
How was your week? How was your month? We've not done one for a month. So.
I know. Yeah, no. Yeah, we had a really fantastic month last month. I was ashamed to see the back side of January, actually. But
yes.
it's good going into February, and got some exciting stuff going on.
Absolutely. And so today we're going to be about the wider sort of SalesMaster platform with regards to order processing. Been very popular with this through our fleet-based product, but obviously anything that's kind of order fulfillment, workflow, general efficiencies is what we're going to focus on today, right?
Yeah, and it really hot topic at the minute as well around the order processing side of SalesMaster. So we've got a number of large clients going live on the system in the next few weeks. So it's a really good opportunity. And I know we did a session on it probably back in November, October time now.
Yeah.
But it was, it's a big product, so it's a great opportunity to dive a little bit deeper and show some of the, once you've got those orders built, that actually what you can do with that from a contacts or reporting perspective. So looking forward to this one.
Absolutely, yeah, that's great. We've got Annette moderating as always. So Annette will put through any messages you have. So you just need to log in with Gmail or your YouTube account, and that will put your question through to Annette. She can then put it through to us on the screen. So get involved. It's good to know that you're out there with us, and we'll obviously generate some other questions and answers that we can share for everybody else. So Annette has had a comment to say that the beard is back, Howard. That's good to see. So your beard has grown back, and mine's actually grown a bit longer, I think, than yours today, actually. So I've overtaken that. Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're waiting for, but you must be waiting for something.
Waiting for another
if you're growing
deal.
the beard.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's just too many grey hairs coming through now, though. So okay, right.
Keep them hidden.
Yes, absolutely. So on with the show then, I think. So I'm going to cut over to while you change your screen over. But as I say, don't forget to subscribe. We're running these now monthly as live streams, so to share tips and tricks and how to get the most out of SalesMaster. So it'd be brilliant if we can get to 250 subscribers. That's our next milestone. So hit that button if you haven't done so already. Okay, I can see you, Howard. So that's good. And I've got your screen.
All good?
All good. Looks good, mate. Off we go.
Excellent. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to log into our order processing side of SalesMaster into a demo environment. So last time we looked at this, I can't remember when it was. Hopefully Annette can remind me actually of when that last session was. But
Annette watches all these videos all the time, I think, when she's timestamping them and things, so she'll know them inside out.
Yeah, let's hope so. I'm sure she'll find out for us now. But we started off in stock. We started in vehicles in this screen I'm in right now, and we selected a vehicle that we started to build an order on, if you recall. And then I think we went into actually ordering a vehicle or creating an order on a vehicle that we didn't yet have in stock, so factory order. You may say, but what we're going to do this time, we're going to
7th of January, by the way, mate. She's just Annette's just put that through, so that's when we did it. 7th of January?
No, the fleet based one. Anyway,
yeah, thanks Annette.
yeah. It's excellent. Okay, and you threw me off my stride as well. So obviously in orders here, we can see lots of orders. There's nearly 800 orders in this, so obviously gets played with quite a bit, and we build orders so you can see all the list view. Exactly the same as obviously from a vehicle perspective as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to build a new quotation. But in this case, we're going to just do it on a new vehicle. So it prompts me when I click on this button to do a new quotation to search stock book, which is the vehicle record. So it's basically saying, do you want to make sure that, or do you want to check that you've got one of these available in stock that you can sell from? But in this case, we're just going to go straight to new. So we're going to build the vehicle. So yeah, we are 2022 now, aren't we? So you can choose anything. I'm just going to select a Ford here and just maybe an EcoSport. Something a little bit different for us. And then, as you can see, I am just selecting the trims and the colours on the vehicle, and you can see it's bringing through that price value on that as well. Before I save and close, I'm just going to jump into options just to see, just to show you where actually when you put the options in, it brings through those prices as well.
It's worth pointing out, I guess, on there about the cap data set for that. So yeah, new vehicle data fully integrated in this part of SalesMaster, where you're building a vehicle from, as Howard's just done, that's coming from your cap NVD. So you need to have a cap license for that. But obviously, as soon as you've got a cap license, that will automatically be fully integrated into the system. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And just while you explain that bit, I'm just going to grab that as well, just a really useful tip once you've built the vehicle and added the options, you can actually bring through the RFL on that as well, the cost on that. So I'm just going to bring that through as well. I'm going to delete it now before I save and close. So when I then save and close, it then takes me straight into the quotation screen, or what we label as the pricing screen, as you can see up the top there. Now, before I can move an order, actually, one sec, my computer's just gone a bit funny. Before I can move an order onto the next stage of its process, it needs a number of headers filled in. So you can see here these red highlighted lines of customer, delivery date, and RFL. Hence why I did that 12 months tax when I did. Down the left hand side, again, these are bits that we've looked at before, so I won't go into too much detail, but just to give you a bit of an idea, you can just drop that down and search within there as well. So large businesses that are using it across multiple sites would use that to do that. But it does come through as where you're based. So you can see the ordering site is London Car Sales. That's where I put myself for this demonstration. So that they automatically pull through. The one that doesn't actually is the PDI site. So you can add that in, and I can put that into the same place. Account executive, salesperson, again, is myself. So it's pulling through that information, but of course I can use the drop down in there to be able to change that as well. Don't need a quotation reference at this stage, but I'll just put something in there. Delivery date was one of the criteria that I needed to have in there, so I'm just going to put the 31st of March within that. And then I can do some editing on the vehicles. Because this is a factory ordered vehicle, at this stage, I don't know the order number. I haven't ordered it from the factory. So I can edit it if I wanted to change the spec or anything on that vehicle as well. Now going straight into customer, because that's another obviously key area we need to complete. You can see you've got the ability to select the customer. Now we are going to do a little bit on contacts as well. So, but at this stage, I'm just going to select SalesMaster as the customer. Okay. In a lot of cases, that tends to be the leasing company. If there's a leasing company, obviously involved with that as well from the finance perspective, so that would come through as the customer. But again, it does a number of changes to the system. So it adds the end user, a deliver to, a send invoice to, and a register with vehicle with. So you can add others to this as well. We tend to see the end user being used if there is a broker involved as well. So you may want to add the broker, and then the deliver to, obviously the end consumer or customer of that vehicle. So you can change these. At the minute, they just sit as the main customer, which is SalesMaster in this case. But with the end user, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to create one, and I'm going to call it what should we call it? Super something. Right. So I've selected a criteria, but it doesn't come up with anything. So you can see when I've searched, it's not found a matching contact. So it's actually asking me now to create one. So in this case, I'm going to create that as an organisation or as a business. I call it leasing. Don't worry about the phone number too much. And then I'm going to add an address on there as well, which I will need. So I'm just going to put Denby House in that, like so. And then I'm going to select that. Now, that does a number of things. Once I've confirmed that, that's now built that end user that I've just added into the system, as you can rightly see there, within that as well. So I'm just going to add. So
that's really fast to add a contact to the system, and I think that's the the other point there when you're doing that is you're adding it to the full, within your group or OEM network or funder, whoever's got access to your platform. It's a single database of contacts, so very quick to add that, and also minimise the duplication of. Usually we would have the main leasing companies and funders in there as somebody went live.
We do.
Yeah.
We do, yeah, we do. We always have a bit of trouble around the kind of duplication, but it's something that we're obviously reviewing at the minute. So that we'll be able to overcome. But yeah, you can set when you search for a customer, you can search by the name exactly as I did, or you can search by a postcode or any of the details. So hopefully that doesn't occur too much to build a second one. Now. I'm going to leave this bit for the minute. So I've got there as a quotation. I don't need to save this record by hitting that button there, because it automatically saves for me. So it's already, as I'm entering information into there, it's creating that. I can move that on, obviously now, because I've got my delivery date and RFL in there, so I can move that to awaiting processing. But at this stage, I'm just going to leave it as a quotation. And what I'm going to do, which we don't spend a great deal of time in when we're demonstrating Fleetbase or order processing side of SalesMaster, but I'm going to jump into contacts. Okay, so when I jump into contacts, you'll see right at the top of the list, there's the super leasing that I just created. So you can see that within there. Now, what you can also do is you've got the ability to be able to have a look at records within these customers that are listed here, or these contacts. So just like vehicles, just like the order side of the system, you can build your own columns in there. And what you'll notice that there's a quotation one, so I can bring quotations in, and that will count the amount of quotations that I've got active in the in orders as well. So I can click on that and look, it just takes me straight from contacts down into orders and shows me that quotation, like so. You can also bring in a number of other bits. So you've got quotations or quotes as it's headed there, but you've also got active orders as well. So you can see that there.
So it's a great way to build a dashboard kind of by contact rather than by vehicle or by order. This is looking at it from the customer view instead.
Yeah, and this is really powerful if you want to have a look just across a customer, a specific customer, and see all their orders. So you can see here, a list now of all of that I've got in my view. And if I was tracking a number of these, if I was just tracking super leasing, of course I can just type that in and it will just show.
Way. Yeah.
Works exactly the same way, so I can just bring that through. And then obviously if I wanted to recall this header rather than going back to where I had as the default, you've got save views in there as well. So I'll call that active orders. Share that with anyone else, or I can just simply save it for myself and pin it as a tab. So then I've always got that reference or that header to go back to. So I've got my default, and then I've got my active orders on there as well.
Very good.
So great. Yes.
Annette's put it up, actually. Sorry to interrupt you again, mate, but Annette has found the last Fleetbase overview that we did. And she's put a link in the chat, actually. So for those of you that haven't seen the initial overview on Fleetbase, there's a link there for you to watch it afterwards. But as I say, they're all on the channel. But it was the 12th of November. So I think you guessed about
Brilliant.
that.
I said right, November. I said November. Excellent.
Thanks,
there you go. Thank you, Annette. So I'm just going to jump back into orders now. I've got my quotation there. Now, what I'm going to do, you can see down the bottom, you've got this big blue button here that says duplicate quote. Obviously, I can do that if I was if this was a bit of a bulk or a number of orders on requests on this vehicle, inquiries. But if I move it to awaiting processing, I'm basically confirming that the order has been taken and is being processed. So now it's jumped to sold awaiting processing. I can enter the order number if I'm ordering it from the factory. If I was administrating this particular order or this for this salesperson, potentially, I can then move that as I order the vehicle. But you can see it's actually changed from duplicate quotations to bulk orders. So I can bulk order that or bulk request that as many times as I want. So if I just do it another 9 times, that will then create or duplicate that order. I have 10 orders hopefully on there. There you go. And there they all are. So they just go in really, really quickly within there as well. so I can see them as I require. If I type in super, yes, that's already exists one time before. So I can look again for just those orders. If I was just looking for the maybe the sales type. Tactical, there you go.
While you're looking for that, we've had a question come in actually from Annabella. Thank you for the question. So when we add customer details, end user and deliver to details, if we then add send invoice to or register vehicle to, it matches the customer details. It changes to the same as the customer. So this will then. So it sounds like could this be changed? It sounds like they're not changing to the same as customer. I'm not 100% sure on that, Annabella. Do you want to just try that, Howard, to see if you get it? So just add a
add a send invoice.
Add a send invoice to it.
Okay.
Just see if we can replicate that now live.
I was just going to see if I can find you. I can't. Let's do EasyJet. Oh, I just found me. There you go.
Send
so that
invoice to, yeah. It changes to the same as customer. I'm not sure what that is, Annabella. So just try doing it as Howard's done it there, but or perhaps just let us know an example of that via the support desk. That would be good to if you've got an example order on your system where it's doing that. When you save the record, it removes it. So just try saving the record. See if that.
Okay. Well, I'll press save. It should save that anyway.
Automatically.
Okay. So.
That's it. True live streaming now. This is good.
Yeah, I know. Invoice contact, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that one. Yeah, look, there it is. EasyJet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one, Annabelle. But thank you for jumping in on this. And as I say, if you've got a specific on your environment, just let us know via support or through the channel afterwards. So, but yeah,
do. Yeah, I'd love to see that one.
Yeah,
I'd see if I can pick that one up from Annabella at all. From that, okay, brilliant. Right, so what I was just going to do there is I'm going to bulk these orders. I've obviously changed that top one to the EasyJet one just off that request, but I'm now just going to select these. And as you can see, as I start to select the little checkbox, now I can select all just by hitting that button there, or I can just select some individual ones just by doing this. If I knew the narrative, I could just type that in and drill down straight to these particular orders that I want to select, all of them, like so. So I've selected the 10. Obviously, I duplicated 9, added an extra 9, but you can see the bulk update button is on the right-hand side now. So the screen has changed. It's removed all the other functions. So if I then do that, you can see I've got the ability now to update the field in any of these records all at the same time. So we've got things like delivery site. I think we've got things like, you can see there's loads and loads on there. We keep getting requests for more to go on there just because of the simplicity of being able to do this in just a bulk order. So you go in, you create an order exactly as I did. And then you can bulk or duplicate that order as many times as you require, and then you can just fill in this information rather than going in each individual one. You can just go straight in and do that in one hit. So I'm just going to go with something like forecast month, and I might say actually just update them all to March. I put down the delivery date as the end of March, but I'm going to add them all in as March. So you can see those vehicles. If I go into one of these orders, you'll see in the administration now the forecast month has been added in as March. Now I can start to build orders, but build reports on that as well. So I can go in and I can use Search Builder, and you can see I've got my drop downs here. So I've got a list of all of those headers, which we see in Column Chooser, that I can now search within. But obviously you can search it in the same way as well. So just by typing in. So if I go for forecast month is March, this will then give me all of those orders plus another one that I've added in as well.
That's really quick when dealing with bulk orders, isn't it, to be able to group them like that?
Yeah, it makes it really, really straightforward to be able to just go, build your reports based on the requirements you need, and then obviously updating them as required. So once I've done that, I've now put the forecast month as March. I can pin that as a tab, so I can select on them as required. But because I put the end of March, what I might want to do is actually say, do you know what, these aren't going to go out until April, and then you can just go in and do exactly the same movement on any of these headers, just to be able to move them on like so. I wonder if April's in there. It is in there. There you go. So now that moves all the orders into April, and guess what? In my forecast for March, I've now got no orders because they've all moved. So you can build your reports absolutely as you require. Now the other bits that similar kind of workflows that you can build within order processing is any of these headers that are available in the admin tab. You can either bulk update or you can report on. Now this is exposing everything that we have, because this is a demo environment, so we can tailor these down a little bit for the requirements of the particular use case. So you can see it's quite a busy one, but as I say, these are all interactable. So as you add bits of information in there, it's timestamping them and adding looking at that, obviously looking to see if the vehicle has been PDI'd or if anything's changed on there. I think if I say PDI today, so we'll do that one. We'll put in a date in the prep date as today within that, and then when you come back, you can then actually say, I think there's a header that you can bring in, which is. This is quite a busy screen, so I apologise, but I always use the Control F function to do that. But if you bring in the PDI question mark there, so it's basically saying, has the vehicle been PDI'd, yes or no? Well, this one at the top that we just changed to being done today has obviously become a yes, and the rest of them will become no within that. But again, if you wanted to, you could say, actually, all these vehicles are going to be PDI'd at the same point. So I'm going to say all of them are being PDI'd today. So
using this in PDI center, large order fulfillment, to be able to batch process these orders, and of course then your other view in the business to be able to see that real time as a workflow, which presumably you're going to move into something like that. Exactly. So I can obviously build now a workflow that shows me the vehicles set in this out of these orders that we've got here that are no, and you can simply do that by using the search function and then adding in the dates from there. So you've got a PDI center looking for vehicles that need PDIing, then that's the list of ones to do in what order based on the delivery date, and then the order site sees the progress in real time.
Mm-hmm. The other bit from a management perspective as well is this is quite a good one to look at as well. So we have a pricing page and we have a summary page. But what a lot of our dealer groups and manufacturers like to do is they like to use the approval. So you can see down the bottom here, I've got access to be able to approve this order for the pricing or for the summary. So I'm just gonna approve this one on both. And you can see it will timestamp it and add my name into it as well. So show who approved that this order within that. And then when you go back to the orders, you've got the ability to be able to select on them as well. So if you're looking at orders that actually I wanted to see what hasn't been approved or what has been. So if I say, actually, just show me the ones that let's have a look at the ones that have been approved.
Yeah, so if you put order approved, and then I can probably go and approve some more, and we'll see those update in real time.
Yeah, and go for it. See,
split screen.
Yeah, so if I just have my approval, so you can see I've got a few in there.
Yeah. Right, I'm on now, so I will. I can see all those tactical agency ones that are Ford EcoSports. Yeah, so. If I just go into one of those, just go into the order, go into the summary tab, scroll down to the bottom, and then if I just hit the approval.
Yeah, pricing approval is the only one I'm looking at, actually. I'm not looking at summary, but yeah.
Okay, that should have done another one. So if you refresh
there you
that,
go.
there it is, straight in.
It has. Yeah, so that kind of creates that flow of moving from, obviously at this point I'm looking at ones that have been, but I could obviously quite easily be looking at orders that haven't been yet approved. So, whether or not I was ordering the vehicles, I might not want to move that until that approval would come through. But again, it works exactly. It's just a good example of how you can do it, but it works exactly the same with any other header that's kind of available in the view of this screen and of obviously the summary screen as well.
Yeah, that's great.
So you can just build your reports based on that.
And sort of using that same functionality for booking transporter deliveries, etc. The logistics companies, or anything where you've got to try and do multiple actions on. The same action on multiple vehicles. It just is a huge time saver rather than jumping in and out of the individual records. Absolutely, because they just, we see some really super users of the system just build their perfect workflows, and they can become expansive. Responsible for lots of goings on within the corporate or fleet side, but for specific roles, responsibility. It's great to be able to just build your reports and come in the morning. There's my workflow. Ticked. I've done that. That then moves on, and everybody then has clear view of everything that's going on. It drives the productivity, doesn't it? You kind of have those, as you say, it's workflows of the different, what we know as saved views and tabs in the system are actually driving kind of, to get that clear to-do list almost for each function. That's how we see it being used really effectively. So,
just building your workflows, but we've also created, because we release into the system on a regular basis. A bigger request that came from one of our groups was this anticipated delivery date as well. That again, you can use that as a kind of, as the vehicle stock coming through the pipeline is a bit slower now. You might want to have your kind of prediction on that date rather than what's coming through from the factory file or your requested delivery date.
Especially useful for handling things like certainly in the commercial vehicle market, where there are things that need to be done when the vehicle's landed at the PDI centre or at your site. So whether that's ply lining or further actions that happen afterwards. So you've got the delivery date of the vehicle on the main record on the left hand side, but then you've got the chance to set that anticipated delivery date based on the works that needs to be done on that. So and of course the tracking of when that delivery date was last updated, which again is great to be able to then see through all of the orders how fresh is that information. So you can, that just keeps customer experience higher if you're telling customers about any movement on dates, particularly at the moment. We know it's challenging, but also it's going to make your forecasting more accurate as well, because it's the whole idea is that this just drives workflow, and then you're looking at the most up-to-date view of all of your order bank.
No, absolutely, for sure. Because we do, as I mentioned, we do take, estimated delivery dates from factory feeds and files. So you can see it's here actually. I've got an NA on there because obviously I haven't added an order number to this vehicle yet or ordered the vehicle. So, but with a standard vehicle, you get that in there as well from most manufacturers.
It's worth, when we talk about inventory in SalesMaster, inventory doesn't just mean stock. It obviously spans these sold vehicles as well, which is again another huge time saver to be getting. Not all manufacturers give us an actual date, but some, most of them give us a status, and others give build week indications and things like that. So this is just saving you having to go into a factory system, and typically the DMS doesn't usually hold this kind of information anyway, particularly with some of the agency type orders. So it's giving you one place to look to get the latest status on where that vehicle is.
Absolutely. Cool. Okay, so just moving back to the main screen. So obviously I've now created a couple of headers that I'm using as my profile, so they're just for me. But what I wanted to do, another question, is there, Chris?
There is indeed, yes, well spotted. So Annabella, again, actually. So good to have you with us. So how can we get the estimated delivery dates to populate automatically from Mercedes-Benz? That should be one that you're close to, Howard, with Mercedes.
I'm quite familiar with that. Mercedes, we tend to get a number of dates. So I don't know if that's because of just the progress of where we are at the minute, and that some of the dates are not coming through. I think Annette caught where Annabella was from, actually. So I will have a look. At this following as well.
Yeah, but that's certainly something you should be able to help with. And,
definitely. Yeah, and maybe just exposing that for Annabella as well. Maybe there's a setting there. So I'm happy to look at that.
Good stuff. Okay, thank you.
No problem. So what we wanted to do, a bit of grouping as well. So we wanted to look at some specific criteria on some vehicles. So obviously I've got it open here for 800 orders. I could obviously drill that down a bit. So if I wanted to just look at maybe orders that were created this month, I can certainly do that. So we can just select that and then say, actually, let's use the drop down. So rather than looking at a date range, I might want to say, actually, just show me this month. So I'm going to say everything this month. So it's just brought it down to the 19 orders. So you can see, they're mainly me. Simon's jumped in there actually with an order. But what we can do with that, so it's great to be able to see it in a list view, but we can drill that down into group that into a pivot table as well, style of the view. So I could do that by sales type. So if I wanted to look at by sales type, so this is everything that we've done or created this month. So it's not necessarily vehicles that have moved out of quotation. This is looking at everything. Again, we can move that quotation, but you can see it's now just grouping those sales types for me as well. So of course I can go in and save that. And of course, when you put in created this month, it's always the month you're in. So you only ever create that report once. You can do this quarter or any other choice as well. By salesperson, there you go. So I told you, Simon, I only did one. So again, you can look by everything that's going on by individual person or within individual brands if it's a multi-brand view. But you can build all your reports exactly as you require. These are, there's vehicle factory order type. I don't wonder. No, nothing. Okay, that's a demo. And there you go. You can also do it by site as well.
But these group by views are super powerful when you can bring in other columns and things, and then it will either sum the total as it's doing, like count the total of numbers, or sum the values if there are financials in there, and you can obviously sort the columns as well. So you can make pretty powerful dashboards here that are all real time. I have seen, I think we mentioned it on one of the last live streams before, a use case where this screen has been sort of zoomed in on the browser and then fired out to a wallboard, just on a big screen, and then everyone can see live view of orders at the right status. So it's pretty because you could I probably won't have anything that's delivered this month, but you could have anything awaiting processing as a kind of status that actually shows you every order that was taken. So it's probably order status, awaiting processing. So I just want to look at the vehicles that have moved to that stage. Look, we've got 364, but actually I really want to just know that orders that have been created, that we've got that far, that have been done in the last 30
this
days
quarter. Say, all right, this quarter, actually, what have we done? And there we go. So then just being able to save that report and saying, actually, rather than me going in and logging in and creating that report every time, just let the system do that report for you. You can do multi as well. So sorry, I should have said that actually. So where I've got just looking at order wait processing, what I can do, let me shut that so you can see my screen better. But again, you can say actually the order status is not, or none of, is not quotation. So don't show me quotation, but show me everything else. And there you go. It's the same number, but So it just removed the quotation. So it's looking at orders that have actually been taken or delivered or added, however you want, and then you can group that however there you go, order status. They're all order waiting processing. I should have changed some. But yeah, you'd have a list there showing you where all your vehicles are this quarter that you've added into the system. So it just you can see why it's such a well used product in the industry for us.
Definitely, and again, saving those as a scheduled export again, that is another real time saver, isn't it? So if you want to get a report at the end of the day or end of the week or whatever, you can just set that.
You can select on the reports. Once you've built the reports, you've got the ability to schedule an emails often as you require that. You can see I've built quite a few, things like deliveries still to go this month, deliveries this month, what have we done this month, and if you've got the cost on those deliveries as well, you may be wanting to look at all your deliveries you did this month and what was the cost implications of that.
Great way of tracking and making decisions on how you're fulfilling your orders. So onward delivery costs, how much is it costing to fulfill that, and we've had some customers use that kind of insight to open different delivery locations, haven't we? So
yes, for sure. So just super powerful way of managing all your order processing from start to finish. Very so good. Much to cover in this topic.
Is, and I think next time we'll probably pull out some of those as specifics, because there's quite a lot to the profit reporting and financials and summaries, isn't there, that you can use, particularly, as I said, with these agency orders where they're not necessarily going through the DMS in the typical way, because it's usually around the agency commissions, etc. So, but that would be perhaps an interesting one for us to cover.
The summary page we kind of build based on, it's built as the vehicle is added. So you can see I've selected a Ford here, so I've got things like basic price margin, option margin, paint margins, things that people in the Ford network would be really familiar with. If I was building a Mercedes here, that it'd be different. So we try to keep it as aligned to the brand as possibly we can.
Great. Yes. Well, I think that's probably
got another session
done as today, hasn't it, mate?
I think so. I could go on forever on this one, but I'm done.
I tell you what, I did see. We'll switch back to the cameras. Actually, you can go back to the main cameras. But I did see across our customers, the fleet orders or the order processing side in FleetBase. There's the order banks, over 50,000, and a similar number of vehicles that have been delivered in the last 12 months. So it just shows the scale of what's going through SalesMaster for that order processing and administration. So agree, a lot of value can be had from that side. If you've not got it in your business at the moment, I know many of the people that watch these live streams are SalesMaster users, but if you haven't got it in the way you use SalesMaster, maybe you're just using it for stockbook and managing your stock, then get in touch, because we can help tweak this so that you can use it for your sold vehicles as well.
And of course, like Annabella, if anyone needs any extra additional support, then do get in touch with us, because we want to get the best out of it. So
definitely, and these sessions as well, they're designed to, they're for you. And if you've got any questions or things that you'd like covering in the future, just let us know. We've got one more question from Annabella, I think, before we wrap up. So, regarding delivery charges and PDI charges, is it possible to have the costs pulling from the DMS to avoid duplication? We work with estimates, so it's doing estimate values and then change it with the DMS feed. That is something we've done before. It is down to the availability of the data coming out, depending on what DMS you're on, and how we can get that into the feeds that flow through to us. But again, that's probably one we can look at specifically for you. But it is something that we've done previously. So,
before,
I mean, all of this stuff is designed to try and minimize and avoid that duplication, as you say, and just try and make it as simple as possible to do the bulk orders. So thank you again, Annabella, for that question. So with that, then I think that's probably all to wrap up. Just one more thing around Annette saying thank you for joining, and please don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully we've picked up a few more of you from this session. So keep tuned in we'll put these out on the YouTube channel, but also via LinkedIn, etc. as well in the future. So thanks, Howard, for that. That's a really good,
no problem. Have a great weekend.
And you, mate, and look forward to seeing you all on the next one. So don't forget to follow us, and see you soon. Many thanks. Bye for now.